Hello drum builders. In this video I am sharing my experience using a novel method of pulling the vertical ropes for tuning a djembe. In order to do this, there needs to be a better way to hold the djembe stable and accessible for pulling. Here is a view of the top of my djembe pulling table with a clamp made from scrap wood that is effective for tuning the djembe. The bottom of the table was purchased from Djembe Drum and Skins in Tennessee and can be seen on their website goatskins.com. This is a table that has a pulling lever that is hand and foot controlled. I had to remove the side rails that hold the base bar. The clamp has three functional parts to hold the djembe for pulling while allowing for easy rotation for positioning. A new base bar was fashioned that has a slanted elliptical cutout that engages the foot of the djembe. At the base of the bowl of the djembe, there's a rope that is tied to the vertical bar of the clamp, which helps in keeping the djembe foot engaged in the base bar, yet allows the rotation of the drum. The top clamp jaw is a platen of wood that is covered with Tyvek sheet obtained from a used mailing envelope. For protection of the skin of the djembe, I have sewn together two circles of terry cloth towel that can be used dry for dry pulls or soaked to keep the head moist on wet pulls. This is useful if you need to keep the head moist overnight. The top jaw of the clamp moves easily up and down and stays in position when not engaging the head. To set the clamp for pulling, you simply lower it into position, then push down on the back of the head clamp. This setup minimizes movement of the drum forward and prevents tilting downward while pulling with force. You may be wondering, what are those little green ropes that are on the verticals? These are loops of rope that are of a smaller diameter than the vertical ropes, and these green loops are tied as a friction hitch called a prusik knot. When you pull the loop outward, upwards, or downward, there's enough friction to move the vertical ropes in those directions, thus providing adequate friction on the vertical ropes to tune the djembe. Using the seahorse cleat of the table as a hook on the loop of the prusik allows you to pull the rope tight without damaging the vertical rope. A second property of the prusik knot is that you're able to easily position the knot up or down the vertical rope by pushing the body in the direction you want it to move. For maintaining tension on the vertical after it is pulled down, a second prusik knot is engaged to clamp the vertical rope at the top, much like a vice grip clamp is used, but causing less damage. To set this clamping prusik knot, you have to pull up and to the right. You have to use your thumb on the rope just below the clamp to apply leftward counter pressure to prevent the drum from rotating. As if there are not enough prusik knots used, I use a third prusik knot near the lower ring on the right part of the vertical that is being pulled upward. In this drum, I am pulling downward on the left side of the verticals, which pulls upward on the right verticals. By pulling up and outward on the lower right prusik, I overcome the friction of the rope around the cow hitch at the base of the right verticals, achieving nearly equal tension between the left and right parts of the verticals. As my hands are big and the prusiks are small, I need an accessory to pull in the upper left and lower right ones. You can use a hook or carabiner for this. However, I prefer an archery bow release as it is easier and more efficient for me, and also it is attached to my wrist so I do not have to hold it continuously. The sequence of steps that I use that are shown here are: 1. Manually pulling down on the vertical to take up as much slack as possible and adjusting the placement of the prusik knots. 2. Either engaging the seahorse cleat on the prusik knot or directly on the rope when there is enough slack. 3. Engaging the bow release on the prusik knot on the right vertical near the lower ring. 4. Pulling the vertical down by using the pulling lever with the left hand and then with the left foot. 5. Pulling outward and upward on the prusik knot on the right side of the vertical while maintaining steady pressure on the pulling lever with my left foot. 6. Setting the upper left prusik knot into position and tightening it with the bow release. In order to prevent the drum from rotating, counter-rotational pressure must be applied to the vertical with the left thumb. 7. Once the upper prusik knot is set, gently release the pulling lever with the foot. 8. Rotate the drum to the next loop. 9. Repeat the sequence from step 1 until the round is complete. At this point, I managed to trap the loop of the lower prusik under the vertical rope that is being pulled. I had to fiddle and release the tension on the vertical in order to free up the loop. This is the first time this has ever happened to me. My luck that it happens when I am recording a video.